Right, we are recording. Ladies and gentlemen on YouTube, you lazy bastards who couldn't be bothered to turn... I'm kidding. There's obviously plenty of reasons you couldn't turn up, but still. Please don't leave angry comments down below. Please, please, please. You'll probably do it anyway, won't you? Damn it, it's too late. What have I done? Welcome, everybody, to a new streaming series after the... You know what, we're just not going to talk about what happened with Baldur's Gate 2. We're not going to talk about it. It's going to be expunged from the records and officially denied existence by the Inquisition. It never happened. We're about to start playing Dragon Age Origins. We have not played in a long, long-ass time. This is a brand new playthrough. For any of you who were still somehow confused, in spite of the fact that the number of times I said it was going to be a brand new playthrough, some people still ask, are you carrying on with the old... No, I don't even have the old save game. It's not... No. It's a brand new playthrough, brand new character, different character as well. I'm going to choose one of the other Origin stories as well. And I'm looking forward to it. I adore Dragon Age. I think it's an awesome game. Origins, that is. Let's not talk about the other two. Dragon Age Origins is a fantastic game for a whole heap of different reasons. And I'm looking forward to playing it again, because I didn't do it justice the first time. It's as simple as that. I did not do it justice. It is an amazing game, and it deserved better than my crap attempt at a playthrough that was completely aborted after a while. So, let's do it, folks. Are you ready? Also, the audio might be a bit funky at the start here, because I think, for one thing, the intro cinematics are a little bit noisy compared to the actual game, but also I haven't had a chance to tweak the audio settings just yet, so this might be, like, disastrously loud, so, you know, rip headphone users, but let's do this. I'm just quickly scanning the chat in case anyone's got anything important to say. No, I don't think I'm going to be playing a sorcerer, sorry. I'm continuing to live up to my reputation of being called SorcererDave and yet never playing sorcerers. It's kind of my thing. It's all just one small piece that is part of my throne of lies, folks. It's all lies. It's all lies. I don't even have a mustache. You see, it's all a sham. It's all a hoax. Right. Without further ado, let's do it. Please work. Please work. I'm almost praying right now. Hooray, it works! Success! And my name isn't really Dave either. Yeah, good point. I'm not neither am I a sorcerer, nor am I called Dave. Right. How bad was that? On a scale of 1 to I can't hear anything anymore. Yes, indeed, that music. Not terrible. Right, I will take not terrible. Chat's going nuts right now. Alright, good. New game. I have had some questions about this, actually. Will I play Awakening? Hell yes, is the answer. I will play Awakening. Awakening was pretty good, so... As for the other DLC, don't know. Some of it I might skip. The bits that are worth playing, I'll probably play. Getting a bit weepy from the music. It was the same for me when I booted this up the other day after reinstalling it. It was like, oh my god, I've missed this. Okay, do it.
The chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation.
They have a cave troll.
Until the Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed. It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. It may even be too late, for I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all.
The background you select will determine which of the 6 distinct opening stories you play through. It also affects how characters respond to you throughout the game. Does indeed. Right. Whee! I did think about doing Dwarf again, because I fucking love Dwarves in Dragon Age, I really do. Orzammar is still my favourite section of the entire game. However, nah, we tried that once. I think we should probably shake it up a bit. I've played Dwarves before anyway. So, it's going to be Human Noble this time, for the simple reason that I've never completed the game as a Human Noble. And there are a lot of story elements that I've not had the chance to see for myself before that relate to the Human Noble origin story. Especially in not only in the main game, but also in the expansion Awakening as well. So, I do actually want to see that, because I've completed the game as a dwarf, I've completed the game as a city elf, I've completed the game as a Dalish elf, I've completed the game as a mage before. Human Noble, I think, is the only one, aside from Dwarf Commoner, that I've not done before, so I can't even remember what's in Dwarf Commoner, to be honest with you, so... In fact, the last time we completed the game was actually as a Dalish elf, so that definitely wasn't going to happen, because I don't fancy doing that all over again. So yeah, this is what we're going to do. Dwarf Commoner, I don't fancy it purely because, well, playing a dwarf again, and also it doesn't really tie much into the rest of the game that well compared to compared to Human Noble. So, I disagree. Dalish Elf was quite good actually. It tied in surprisingly well in a lot of aspects, considering, you know, the whole thing with the Illuvian, the mirror, keeps constantly coming back all the time. You start off the game, actually, when you're playing as the Dalish Elf, with the Illuvian being kind of the reason you get thrust into it in the first place, and if you play all the DLC, you effectively end Dragon Age Origins with the Illuvian again. So it's surprisingly thematic. It works quite well. They all do in their own ways, to be fair, but that one particularly struck me as quite good when I played it. So. Whee, whee. So yeah, Human Noble it is.
Greetings.
Reset. Here we go. Oh, hello, sir. Look at that beard. Dum, 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 dum. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Excellent. Let's see. Actually, what about here? That's not going to work. It just makes it look like his whole, like, facial hair jobby is, like, glued on. It looks really fake when you... Yeah, that's not happening. That could work. You know what, that actually... The braid is so daft, and yet I have a feeling some posh noble git would probably have a stupid haircut like that, so it sort of works. It did look a bit like Tormund, actually, with that massive beard. It's a shame you can't play as a barbarian in this game, otherwise I'd totally do Tormund in Dragon Age. That would be amazing. I'm thinking a kind of upper class twit of the year sort of a fellow here, really. Lord Cousland, yes. Especially when you discover that his brother is also an upper class twit of the year, but we'll get to that later. Yes, I like this. Eyes. Like it even matters. I don't know. Whatever. Nose. I don't really care. Neck is. Neck thickness. They spelt thick wrong. I'm just saying. Look at that. Oh dear. Now we'll go for the average, I think, because otherwise, damn, that's just weird. Actually, in fact, there we go. That seems. I'm looking at the portrait. That seems a bit more reasonable. Portrait. Yeah, of course. I forgot you could muck about with the portrait. This is the height of vanity. This is. It really is. Oh, we got a background. I think I like the blue. Yes, I like the blue. Expression. Forget about this. Oh, he's a lunatic. He's been put in an asylum. Like that's the sort of I say we don't actually have to fight them, do we? Expression. That's the how dare you interrupt tea time with this triviality. And I don't even know what to say about that. But although actually, I kind of like it actually. It definitely screams upper class twit of the year. That picture right there. That's got to be the one, right? I'm going to use it just because it's going to annoy certain people. You're going to have to put up with it for the rest of the game. It's going to be glorious. And his name... Oh, God, I don't know, actually. Barry? No, that's an overused one. Humphrey! I know, yes, that'll do. Humphrey. Sir Humphrey Cousland. Yes. Xander. Oh, Jesus Christ. Kill me now, please, no. Reginald's. Yeah, Reginald's not a bad one. A bit overused, though. I like Humphrey. Humphrey. People don't immediately think of Humphrey. Right. Let's see, what have we got? Strength, dexterity, willpower, magic, cunning, constitution. I don't think he's particularly cunning, so we'll leave that where it is. Magic, yeah, willpower. I feel like he's probably a bit weak-willed, actually, too. Oh, the voice. Oh,
Greetings.
of course. Oh, no, that won't do. Where's the...
No, it is gone.
How do you do?
Greetings.
Oh, yes.
Well, that didn't work. My weapon isn't working.
Oh, yes. Excellent. Yes, yes. Let's see. All right, so we've got 5 points to spend. Strength, dexterity. God, it's been forever since I've played this. I need to think here. What do we need? He's going to be a... sword and board fighter or two-handed fighter? I haven't done two-handed in a while. And you got Alistair if you want sword and board ultimately, so yes, I can see him. I can see him wielding a massive claymore. Actually, to be fair, or even better, a ginormous hammer, big fucking warhammer. I can't even remember if you can get warhammers in this game, frankly. So I want lots of strength, basically, then. Dexterity? No, I don't think that's as important as it is in Dungeons & Dragons, for example, is it? Willpower. Well, it does grant you stamina for using your combat skills, which is actually quite useful, but... I think I'm just going to whack it into Constitution and Strength, to be honest. Just an extra bit in Strength, actually, just because he's more strong than he is tough. I think if we're going two-handed here, he's not going to be the tank. He's going to be the big chunky DPS guy up at the front. Oh yes, of course. Yeah, you're right. Strength does. There are limits on what gear you can use based on strength and stuff. So yeah. Dumping into strength is probably a good idea. Or a fighter. Points to spend, 1. Coercion. Oh boy. You know what? I don't think I've ever played a playthrough of Dragon Age where I haven't maxed out like coercion and persuasion and stuff. Maybe today will be the day we don't. But what else can you choose, really? Trap making, survival. Herbalism, poison making. I guess there's expert combat training, but you max that out fairly early on, don't you? So, and combat tactics. Gain small bonus to attack warriors and rogues. Gain access to third tier weapon talents, mages. Blah blah blah. Blah. Yeah, we'll go with that. He's a noble, though. He has to ooze with coercion. Not if he's an idiot. I've met posh people that couldn't talk their way out of a paper bag, mate. Trust me. All right, powerful. Gain greater health and reduce the fatigue penalty for wearing armor. Always a good one. And then you've got. We start off with weapon and shield, annoyingly, but then we got the two-handed stuff. Pummel strike. Yeah, I think we'll grab Pommel Strike and Powerful. And... well... In the interest of avoiding another debacle like with Baldur's Gate 2, I think I'm just going to go ahead and play on normal, even though I could probably feasibly complete the game on hard. It would just be with a lot more rage and frustration, and it would probably take a lot longer.
For generations, your family, the Kuzlans, has stewarded the lands of Highever, earning the loyalty of your people with justice and temperance. When your country was occupied by the Orlesian Empire, your father and grandfather served the embattled kings of your land. Today, your elder brother takes up House Kuzlan's banner in service to the crown, not against the men of Orlais, but against the bestial darkspawn rising in the south.
I trust then that your troops will be here shortly.
I expect they will start arriving tonight, and we can march tomorrow. I apologize for the delay, my lord. This is entirely my fault.
No. The appearance of the Darkspawn in the south has us all scrambling, doesn't it? I only received the call from the king a few days ago myself. I'll send my eldest off with my men. You and I will ride tomorrow just like the old days.
True. Though we both had less grey in our hair then, and we fought Orlesians, not monsters.
At least the smell will be the same. I'm sorry, Pup, I didn't see you there. Hal, you remember my son?
I see he's grown into a fine young man. Pleased to see you again, lad.
Good heavens, chaps, could you talk a bit quieter? I can't hear anything, I'm deaf, and I can't get into the menu to turn your volume down. This is unacceptable. I tell you what, I can get around this. I can go into the Windows sound menu instead. To the volume mixer. Oh, people can lose their shit all they like about me choosing normal difficulty in the chat. I do not care. I truly do not care. Who the fuck plays Dragon Age for the difficulty anyway? I'm like, go play Dark Souls or something, alright, you weirdo? Right, I've just turned it down by about half. Was I brought here for a reason?
Since your brother is leading our forces south and I'm going with the Owl, I'm leaving you in charge of the castle.
What's involved with such a task? Like, he's a complete imbecile. He doesn't know. No. What? Why can't I go into battle with you and Fergus?
I'm certain you'd more than prove yourself, but I am not willing to deal with your mother if you join the war. She'd kill me if I let you go. She's already twisted into knots about Fergus and me going.
If you don't send me, I'll kill you. Let me talk to her. I'll convince her. No, he won't.
I doubt that. You know your mother, and she made it clear there is no debate. This is no needless task. I ask you to take a great responsibility. Only a token force is remaining here, and you must keep peace in the region. You know what they say about mice when the cat is away, yes? There's also someone you must
Probably
meet.
doesn't.
Please, show Duncan in.
It is an honor to be a guest within your hall, Tyrn Kuzland.
Your lordship, you didn't mention that a Grey Warden would be present.
Duncan arrived just recently, unannounced. Is there a problem?
Of course not. But a guest of this stature demands certain protocol. I am at a disadvantage.
We rarely have the pleasure of seeing one in person, that's true. Pup, Brother Aldous taught you who the Grey Wardens are, I hope.
He has no idea either. The reason I didn't pick, by the way, the option, because people are already mentioning in chat, the reason I didn't pick the what's involved option is because I think Humphrey is an example of the Dunning-Kruger effect. He doesn't realize he's an imbecile, you see, even though he is. Let's see. They are an order of great warriors. Yes, yes.
They are the heroes of legend, who ended the Blights and saved us all.
Phew.
Duncan is looking for recruits before joining us and his fellow wardens in the
Good
south.
save there, Humphrey.
I believe he's got his eye on Sir Gilmore.
If I might be so bold, I would suggest that your son is also an excellent candidate.
Honor though that might be.
Yes, he's
this is one
stupid
of my
enough to
sons
agree
we're
to it.
talking
Huh? Let's see. I think I rather like that idea, Father.
I have not so many children that I'll gladly see them all off to battle. Unless you intend to invoke the right of conscription.
Have no fear. While we need as many good recruits as we can find, I've no intention of forcing the issue.
Pup, can you ensure that Duncan's requests are seen to while I'm gone?
I doubt I have to be here for that, do I?
Yes, you do. Duncan is an honored guest, and it's your duty to make him welcome here. Is that clear? In the meantime, find Fergus, and tell him to lead the troops to Ostagar ahead of me.
Papa Kuzlin's getting tired of Humphrey's shit at this point, I think. Are you trying to get rid of me?
We must discuss the battle plans in the south. Be a good lad and do as I've asked. We'll talk soon.
Although, of course, we can just talk to them anyway.
Yes?
I trust the delay with your men is nothing serious.
Poor weather, I believe. Their progress has been slow, but it's nothing you need worry about.
Here's the classic BioWare. I should go. You told my father the delay was your fault. Actually, no, we're not smart enough to pick up on that. How long have you and father been friends?
We fought together under King Maric when he drove the Orlesians out of Ferelden. Heady times. The years since have not held the same promise. It's not something a youth would understand. It will be good to ride beside your father again.
You knew King Maric?
Your father hasn't spoken of our time with him? That man took care of his friends. As they say, he was large as life and twice as tall.
I love it. He's so fucking posh.
That.
that posh laugh is just perfect. You don't think much of King Kaelin?
I think of him as much as he thinks at all.
That's enough, Hal. You speak of our king.
Oh, the boy did ask, your lordship. As per the latitude you allow. I merely offered my opinion.
I have a feeling Arl Howe doesn't like Humphrey much either. I should go.
Another time, then.
I keep forgetting it's
I'm
right
sorry,
click.
but I believe your father wishes to talk to the Arl and myself alone.
I was hoping to ask you a quick question or two.
Very well. I doubt your father would mind a slight delay.
Since he stood right there and he's not saying anything, I guess so. I like that. I should go, and then he just stands there continuing to talk to someone else instead. It's like, what? Is it Tim? You gotta be. You're joking. That's not Tim Curry, is it? I need to talk to him again now in a second. Hold on. Are there really darkspawn in the south? Of course there are. Of course there are. Why would? But we're an idiot, remember?
Indeed. We spotted a horde assembling in the Korkari Wilds not 3 weeks ago. Luckily, King Kaelan took us at our word and marshaled Ferelden's forces quickly. The first battles have already been fought. Your father and I must move quickly.
It is Tim Curry. Oh my god, yes. Tim Curry is fucking amazing. No, I'm not surprised I didn't recognize him, because that's Tim Curry for you, but... how many darkspawn are there?
Thousands. Perhaps 10,000 or more in this horde. Normally the darkspawn stay in the deep roads. It bodes ill that so many risk the surface.
Would you really recruit me into the Grey Wardens?
Of course. You are young, skilled, and eager for battle. Also, I heard. The Grey Wardens do not recruit simply anybody, and I intend no flattery when I say you show promise. The old treaties allow me to conscript you even against your father's wishes, but I will not do so. Our order is too small to risk animosity with Ferelden's nobility.
I'm glad I am to hear it.
It's tempting, your lordship, but I'm content to see what other candidates your castle offers.
Yeah, Tim Curry in Red Alert 3 is quite a thing to behold. I'm going to the one place still not corrupted by capitalism. Space! I can't even help laughing just remembering that scene. Jesus Christ. Space! Anyway, if you're watching this on YouTube right now after the fact, just type into YouTube Tim Curry Red Alert 3, enter, and you will it'll amuse you for hours. Anyway,
until we speak again.
Let's go. This is gonna physically hurt me, this playthrough, I can already tell. Like, I'm used to playing clever characters that are usually good at persuasion and talking and stuff like that in BioWare games. It's rare that I play a dumbass who can't talk or persuade or anything. So this is going to be fascinating, frankly. I need...
Oh, really, you should do as your father asked. The trouble ahead won't wait for these little chats.
Yeah, it's Tim Curry, all right.
Another time, then.
Fantastic. Okay, right. I will admit, yeah, Hugh Laurie as the prince in Blackadder was definitely something I was thinking of when I came up with the idea.
There you are. Your mother told me the Terran had summoned you, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Why are you looking for me?
I fear your hound has the kitchens in uproar once again, and is threatening to leave.
Did the dog get into the larder again?
No matter how the maids try to keep him out, he always finds a way in. You know these Mabari hounds. They listen only to their master. Anyone else risks having an arm bitten off.
He knows better than to hurt anyone.
I'm not willing to test that. You're quite lucky to have your own Mabari warhound, you know. Smart enough not to talk, my father used to say. Of course, that means he's easily bored. Nan swears he confounds her just to amuse himself. At any rate, your mother would have me accompany you until the matter is settled, shall we?
I have a feeling the dog is the brains of the operation when it comes to these two, so, yeah. Now I'm regretting not installing the dog slot mod, actually. To the kitchen, then.
Just follow the yelling. When Nan's unhappy, she makes sure everyone knows it.
Onwards! To the kitchens! Did someone turn on the dry ice machine in this bit here? What's the deal with this? Anyway.
Get that bloody mutt out of the larder.
But, mistress, it won't let us near.
If I can't get into that larder, I'll skin both of you useless elves. I swear it.
Calm down, good woman. We've come to help.
You and you. Your bloody mongrel keeps getting into my larder. That beast should be put down.
He's not a mongrel, he's a pure-blood Mabari.
A blight wolf is what he is. How am I supposed to work like this?
Oh, dear. Mistress, calm down, please.
That's it. I'll quit. Inform the turner. I'll go and cook at some nice estate in the Banorn.
Nan, please. We'll get the dog. Calm down.
Just get him gone. I've enough to worry about with a castle full of hungry soldiers. You two, stop standing there like idiots. Get out of the way.
Doggo time.
Oh, look at that mess. How did he even get in here?
Are you trying to tell me something? No. Enough, you're a bad boy, do you hear me? Obviously,
Wait.
I've not
Did you hear
cottoned
that?
onto the fact that the dog is in here for a reason. Yes, name for the dog. I forgot you had to name the dog. So. Well, chat, submit names. If I see anything I like, I will pick it. Rabbit. Baldric. Bartleby. Bartleby's not bad. Fairy axe. Sorry. Boris. I like Boris, actually. I do. I really like Boris. Yeah. Boris. Yeah, it's got to be Boris, I think. Boris! You clever hound! You found some rats!
Let's get some.
It's the Vermintide, it's arrived.
Time for some fun.
Oh dear. If I could click correctly.
Watch out, they might bite! Kill them all! Giant rats? It's like the start of every bad adventure tale my grandfather used to tell.
Yes,
The
yes!
hound must have chased them in through their holes. Looks like he wasn't raiding the larder after all.
They thought there was warp stone in the larder. Right. I say, it certainly looks that way.
Those were rats from the Kokari Wilds. Best not to tell Nan. She's upset enough as it is. But seeing as you've got your Mabari well in hand, I'll be on my way. I'm to prepare for the arrival of more of the Isle's men.
Well done, Boris. Well done. Well done, I say. You see anything interesting? Boris doesn't seem to have found anything. Never mind. And now I shall raid what's left of the larder. There's a lot of rats, actually. Holy crap.
There he is, as brazen as you please, licking his chops after helping himself to the roast, no doubt.
Actually, he was defending your larder from rats. Big ones.
What? Rats? Not the large grey ones.
They'll rip you to shreds, they will!
See, now you've gone and scared the servants. I expect those filthy things are dead.
My faithful warhound made sure it's safe.
Oh, I bet that dog led those rats into there to begin with. Oh, don't even start with the sad eyes. I'm immune to your so-called charms. Here then, take these pork bits and don't say that Nan never gives you anything. Bloody dog. Thank you, my lord. Now we can get to work. That's right, you two. Quit standing about.
Yeah, well, naturally, as you can imagine, the elf things do not particularly like the presence of rats. Wonder why that could be. Has anyone been enjoying the new Total War Let's Play, by the way? Because I have. A little bit too much, actually. This just leads you back into there, doesn't it? Hello!
We will serve you while the Terran is away.
The Terran and the Arl are supposed to leave before dawn. It'll be a long night.
Why are there cushions on the floor? Clean this up immediately. Also, why are there large piles of steaming junk in the... it's not a corridor, is it really? It's just... whatever, get rid of it! This place is a dump. Ah, yes, you could still hold tab to highlight stuff, can't you? Oh, bugger. Right. One of these days I'll play a rogue, but it is not this day.
Good evening, my lord.
Good evening. Doesn't look like evening, but...
As you wish. On it.
Oh. Ghost door. How peculiar. Play Rouge. Somewhere out there, a kitten is drowned every time someone misspells rogue as rouge.
Right.
Andraste, Bride of the Maker. There was once a tiny fishing village on the waking sea that was set upon by the Tevinter Imperium, which enslaved the villagers to be sold in the markets of Minrathaus, leaving behind only the old and the infirm. One of the captives was the child, Andraste. She was raised in slavery in a foreign land. She escaped, and then made the long and treacherous journey back to her homeland alone. She rose from nothing to be the wife of an Alamari warlord. Each day she sang to the gods, asking them to help her people who remained slaves in Tevinter. The false gods of the mountains and the winds did not answer her, but the true god did. The Maker spoke. He showed her all the works of his hands, the Fade, and the world, and all the creatures therein. He showed her how men had forgotten him, lavishing devotion upon mute idols and demons, and how he had left them to their fate. But her voice had reached him, and so captivated him that he offered her a place at his side, that she might rule all of creation. Although, yeah. But Andraste would not forsake her people. She begged the Maker to return to save his children from the cruelty of the Imperium. Reluctantly, the Maker agreed to give man another chance. Andraste went back to her husband, Mafarath, and told him all that the Maker had revealed to her. Together they rallied the Alamari and marched forth against the mage lords of the Imperium, and the Maker was with them. The Maker's sword was creation itself. Fire and food. Fire and food? Fire and flood. Famine and earthquake. Everywhere they went, Andraste sang to the people of the Maker, and they heard her. The ranks of Andraste's followers grew until they were a vast tide washing over the Imperium. And when Mafarath saw that the people loved Andraste and not him, a worm grew within his heart, gnawing upon it. At last, the enemies, or the armies even, of Andraste and Mafarath stood before the very gates of Minrathaus, but Andraste was not with them. For Mafarath had schemed in secret to hand Andraste over to the Tevinter. For this, the Archon would give Mafarath all the lands to the south of the Waking Sea. And so, before all the armies of the Alamari and of Tevinter, Andraste was tied to a stake and burned, while her earthly husband turned his armies aside and did nothing, for his heart had been devoured. But as he watched the pyre, the Archon softened. He took pity on Andraste and drew his sword and granted her the mercy of a quick death. The Maker wept for his beloved, cursed Mafarath, cursed mankind for their betrayal, and turned once again from creation, taking only Andraste with him. And Our Lady sits still at his side, where she still urges him to take pity on his children. From the Sermons of Justinia II. Very good. More books. I'm not going to read all of these, but there you go. The whole Andraste religion aspect of the game is kind of a vaguely important one, so probably was a good idea I read that. More ghost doors all over the place. Got a ghost door over there too.
Good evening, my lord.
Fire and Food is the next Game of Thrones book. Considering the disproportionate amount of time George R.R. Martin spends describing food in his books, that's not even far from wrong.
Oh, my lord, we were just,
Ignoring your duties?
Well, the treasury's safe. I'm not even sure why the Tern stationed us here.
Did my father fear someone would steal something?
I don't know. Nobody has come to look at the treasury.
Who has the key?
The Tern, and perhaps the Tanner? Honestly don't know, my lord.
Continue your game. Pretend I never came by.
My lord is very kind to show us such lenience.
You might be a bit dim-witted, but we're not a bastard.
As you wish.
Is the dog going to be able to get out of there now? Looks like maybe not. Come on, dog.
Hello, my dear boy. By chance, I am beginning to teach these young squires about your family's history.
Do we have to? History is boring.
Boys, you are referring to the Couslands, the very family in whose castle you live. Show some respect.
Still the same taskmaster, I seem, yes?
If the mind is not exercised, it withers just as the body does. Perhaps you'd care to join me in teaching the lesson?
I'm quite familiar with the subject matter.
Perhaps you could make the topic more palatable for these lads and their minuscule intellects.
Very well.
Wonderful. Oh, the Cousland history is long indeed. Where shall we start?
When was our line founded?
Records are vague, but the Couslands became Tierns during the Black Age. Is that familiar, child?
I remember something about an age in there.
Every day I pray to the Maker that my lessons will stick, and every day he tasks me anew. At that time, your family held only the minor title of Ban. When the werewolves reached this area, Ban Mather Cousland organized a curfew and patrols within the city. Several other local bands supported his efforts by swearing oaths of fealty, making him their Tiern.
We predate the founding of the kingdom, yes?
Well, I'm glad some of my lessons don't disappear into that yawning chasm between your ears, young man.
He gets it. He gets it. He knows we're an idiot. Your lecturing does lead to yawning.
A pity you don't spend the same care whetting the edge of your mind as your tongue. At any rate, your family has held the Ternier of High Ever since before King Calenhad united Ferelden. In fact, Tierna Elethea Kuslan battled Calenhad to maintain High Ever's independence.
We opposed the king?
The Kuslans are ardent royalists now, but at that time, Calenhad was unknown and considered dangerous by many. When Calenhad's army reached High Ever, Tierna Elethea led the local bands against him. Obviously, Calenhad won.
And Calenhad let us keep the Ternier?
Calenhad wished to unite Ferelden, not conquer it. After Elethea's men were defeated, Calenhad asked her to swear fealty. The boulder where they held council still stands today as a memorial of that event.
Tell me about our relationship with Alhau.
The history between the Kuslans and the House reaches back to the Orlesian occupation.
When did Orlais occupy High Ever?
During your grandfather's rule. Of course, Orlais found it difficult to hold these lands. During the rebellion against Orlais, several battles were fought near High Ever. The port village of Harper's Ford was the Ternier's center. Its Arl was Tarleton Howe. Though nearly 90, he was still as sharp and bitter as cheap ale. Your grandfather openly supported the rebellion, but Howe sided with Orlais. Your family was forced to seize Harper's Ford before it was all over.
We fought the Howes?
Your grandfather couldn't afford to lose Harper's Ford. In keeping the town, your family drove Orlais from its lands. The Howes eventually joined the rebellion, when all of Ferelden united behind King Merrick and General Logain. Just as now we united behind Merrick's son, King Cailan, to fight the Darkspawn.
Time to end the lesson, I think.
Thank you for indulging an old man.
Oh, does that mean we have to listen to you now?
Silence! I will not have you two becoming smart-mouthed hooligans. Perhaps you should go. I doubt they need any more distraction. I'm just going to settle in here and apparently just talk to myself for all the good. That's myself all this while you do this.
Anything else I can interact? Aha! A book. Somewhere. There we go. History of Ferelden, Chapter 2. History of Ferelden, Chapter 1. I was going to say, where's Chapter 1 got to? I have a habit of playing smart mouth gits in my Let's Plays, so this makes a refreshing change, I must admit, even though not being able to persuade people later in the game at certain points is going to hurt so bad. Is there anything in here? Oh, another book. Culture of Ferelden. Oh boy, the lore dumps. They are coming thick and fast. Right.
Good evening, my lord.
Good evening. Ah. Big old banquet hall with basically nothing in it. Oh, paintings. Who of, I wonder? Who's this guy?
And my dear Bryce bought this back from Orlais last year. The Marquis who gave it to him was drunk, I understand, and mistook Bryce for the king. Ah, here is my younger son. I take it by the presence of that troublesome hound of yours that the situation in the kitchen is handled?
Nan's head exploded in my hound ate the kitchen stuff. Yes, there were giant rats in the larder.
Ah, marvellous. Just the thing for my guests to hear right before dinner. Darling, you remember Lady Landra, Ban Lawrence's wife?
I think we last met at your mother's spring salon.
Weren't you drunk?
I'm so proud of my pup's mastery of tact and diplomacy.
Well, it was a lovely salon, from what little I remember.
Which wouldn't be much, considering we had to pour you into the carriage afterwards.
You remember my son, Dyron. I believe you two sparred in the last tourney.
And you beat me handily, as I recall. It's good to see you again, my lord.
You're being modest. You fought very well. No. Mother, why are these people here?
Don't be rude. Dyron is riding with your father, and I'm going to spend some time with Lady Landra while he's gone.
And this is my lady-in-waiting, Iona. Do say something, dear.
It is a great honor, my lord. I have heard many wonderful things about you.
Don't look now, Eleanor. But I believe the girl has a crush on your lad.
Lady Landra!
Hush, Landra. You'll turn the poor thing scarlet.
May I go now, Mother?
Of course, darling. You must have many things to do before Fergus and your father leave.
I think perhaps I shall rest now, my dear. Dyron, I will see you and Iona at supper.
Perhaps we'll retire to the study for now.
Good evening, your lordship.
I wonder how Humphrey looks at elves. Probably with casual racism, considering he's a noble, I would imagine. It wouldn't surprise me. Although I've never, to tell you the truth, I've never been able to buy the concept of people being racist, like outrageously racist towards elves, because I just don't understand how pointy he is. Maybe it's because I'm not actually a racist in real life, and that's why I find it so difficult to understand. But I just don't understand how seemingly completely ordinary, like especially in this game. I know in like the later games they take on a slightly more alien appearance, but particularly in this game, they literally just look like humans with big pointy ears. Like I don't understand. But whatever.
You should say goodbye to Fergus while you have the chance.
Did you know there's a Grey Warden here?
Yes, your father mentioned that. You haven't got it into your head that you want to be recruited.
Oh, well, Tower's stupid blue fish man, that's completely different. Okay. Would that be so bad?
There's enough here at the castle to occupy you. I don't need you off chasing danger like your brother.
Why can't I go with Father and Fergus?
I know it's difficult to stay in the castle and watch others ride off, but we must see to our duties first. You understand that, don't you?
I could make a difference.
You are here. Trust me,
Even I don't believe it.
Excitement soon enough.
Do you know where Fergus might be?
If he's not out with his men, probably upstairs with Oriana.
Are you staying at the castle?
For a few days. Then I'll travel with Lady Landra to her estate and keep her company for a time. Your father thinks my presence here might undermine your authority.
As you wish.
Good. I was worried you might be nervous about running the castle alone. I needn't have been concerned.
Oh, we should have every reason to be worried about Humphrey running the castle by himself, but unfortunately, as I said, he suffers from the Dunning-Kruger effect, and therefore does not, in fact, realize he's completely unqualified to run the castle by himself. I should go.
I love you, my darling boy. You know that, don't you?
I'm hardly a boy any longer.
Indeed. I turned around, and here you are. A fine man in your own right. But that doesn't mean I have to like it. Go do what you must, then. I will see you soon.
Damn.
Good evening, my lord.
Good evening. Well, here's the thing: we're about to meet Fergus, and if you've never played this game before, or if you've never played the Human Noble Origin before, you will understand immediately after we speak to Fergus why Humphrey is not exactly the sharpest tool in the box, because as you will learn, it is a family trait.
Is there really going to be a war, Papa? Will you bring me back a sword?
That sword, Oren. And I'll get you the mightiest one I can find, I promise. I'll be back before you know it.
I wish victory was indeed so certain. My heart is disquiet.
Don't frighten the boy, love. I speak the truth. And here's my little brother to see me off. Now dry your eyes, love, and wish me well.
This voice acting is amazing. Huzzah! With bells on! No darkspawn could harm Fergus.
He is as mortal as anyone, despite his refusal to believe.
Now, love, no need to be grim.
Did you know there's a Grey Warden in the castle? It's like Humphrey's determined to let everybody know this for some reason.
Really? Was he riding a griffin?
Shh, Oren. Griffins only exist in stories now.
I'd heard that. Did he say why he's come?
He said he's recruiting.
Oh? If I were a Grey Warden, little brother, I'd have my eye on you. Not that father would ever allow it.
I wish I could go with you.
I wish you could come. It'll be tiring killing all those darkspawn myself.
Surely your father would not place both his heirs in danger?
We're watching you.
Mother and father have been fighting about it for days. It's too bad. I could have used you at my side.
Thank you for the 5 months in a row, Christian. Thank you very much. I should probably, turn off the audio for the notifications while we're playing Dragon Age, to be honest with you, but never mind. We'll do that next time. A sword? Yeah. I bring a message. Father wants you to leave without him.
Then the Isle's men are delayed. You'd think his men were all walking backwards. Well, I'd better get underway. So many darkspawn to behead. So little time. Off we go then. I'll see you soon, my love.
I would hope, dear boy, that you plan to wait for us before taking your leave.
Be well, my son. I will pray for your safety every day you are gone.
You could have delivered your message yourself, Father.
And miss having both my children in one place before I leave? Not likely.
The Maker sustain and preserve us all. Watch over our sons, husbands and fathers, and bring them safely back to us.
And bring us some ale and wenches while you're at it. For the men, of course.
Fergus, you would say this in front of your mother?
What's a wench? Is that what you pull on to get the bucket out of the well?
A wench is a woman that pours the ale in a tavern, Oren. Or a woman who drinks a lot of ale.
Bryce, Maker's breath. I swear it's like living with a pack of small boys.
I'll miss you, mother dear. You'll take care of her, brother, won't you?
You can count on me.
Oh, good. How thrilling to know I'm so well taken care of.
Enough, enough. Pup, you'll want to get an early night. You've much to do tomorrow.
What happens if I try and talk to him
Getting
again?
sent to bed early, are we?
Have fun on the long march in the cold.
A warm bed doesn't sound so bad now, come to think of it. At any rate, I'll miss you. Take care of everyone, and be here when I get back.
Doo-doo-doo.
You should be on your way, pup. Long day ahead tomorrow.
About this Grey Warden.
Ah, I was wondering how long this would take. Has he asked to recruit you?
And if he did?
If he did, then I would have to consider it. If a blight is truly upon us in the south, then Grey Wardens will be needed. There is no higher calling. If it comes to that, we can talk about it when I get back. Until then, just show him every courtesy. Duncan is a fine man. And a hero.
Are you sure you'll be alright?
Your brother and I go into battle, not an afternoon tea. Who knows what will happen to us? I will tell you, however, you're my cherished son. I love you, and I trust you completely to carry on the Kuzlin name if the worst should happen. But don't worry about me, dear boy. You'll have enough to occupy your mind while I'm gone.
Heaven forbid Humphrey is the one who's left to continue the line. That won't end well. Is sending all of our forces south a good idea?
When the king demands it. In fact, not sending our forces south would be a distinctly bad idea. Don't worry, pup. You shouldn't see many problems, but I want you to prepare the men left here. In case.
In case of what?
Legends of the Blights tell of horrible things. These darkspawn once threatened many lands. If we can't hold them, you must prepare for the worst.
This is why I should go with you.
Stubborn as always. I understand. But this is why it's so important that you stay. But let's not speak of ominous things. We shall assume that all will go well, and the Maker will watch over us.
I'll go now.
I know that you'll do me proud. You've grown into a fine lad. That much is clear.
Right then. Do you see anything interesting? Boris doesn't seem to have found anything. I am unsurprised. Is there anything I can loot? Doesn't... Oh. Oh. I was going to go check out the other rooms, then I forgot it did this automatically. I say, what's going on? What the devil is this? Is Mother drunk again? I've had just about enough out of you today.
My lord, help me! The castle is under attack!
I say, this is dashed unsporting of you. Hey, dog, keep them at bay while I get dressed. Also, this music is quite loud. Right, you devil, I'll have you. Even though I apparently have lost my two-handed sword. Fine work, Boris. Now then. We'll just take those.
Right.
Jolly good. Oh. I say. Hello. Don't think they're friendly, are they?
Where is the tear?
Tell us! Be easy enough.
Oh dear. I appear to have been knocked sideways. How did you miss him, Humphrey? He was on the floor.
Only one shall stand.
Apparently Humphrey's been watching Highlander.
Darling, I heard fighting outside and I feared the worst. Are you hurt?
I'm fine. What's going on?
A scream woke me up. There were men in the hall, so I barred the door. Did you see their shields? Those are Hal's men. Why would they attack us?
I don't know, Mother, but we need to get out of here.
Have you seen your father? He never came to bed.
Maybe he stayed up with our Hal.
We must find him.
Maybe you should stay here.
I most certainly will not. I am no Orlesian wallflower. Give me a sword and I'll use it. Now let's go.
Mace. Very good. So when do I get my hands on a two-handed sword? I can't remember. Probably supposed to nick it off of, what's his face, wasn't I? Forget his name now, the ginger guy.
No! My little Oren! What manner of fiend slaughters innocents?
Don't look, Mother.
Oh, I'll look. I'll remember this day when Hal dies screaming like the dog he is. Oh, poor fuckers. Let's go. I don't want to see this.
Yes, it's a bit grim. However, nothing to loot. Okay. Oh, bother.
Get them! Get him! You dead!
Blast it!
Thank you. Yeah, can we actually fight instead of dancing on the spot? Also, it's probably level up.
Let's make this quick, shall we?
Right.
On it.
Aha! Oh. Never mind.
Let's get started.
Oh, dear Landra. I'm so sorry. Come to me. If she hadn't been here. Perhaps we can salvage some things here, darling. Some of your father's belongings are in that trunk.
Aha! Here we go. There's the great sword. Right. That's more like it. Right, and Boris. Let's give Mother the... is she equipped with anything right now? Apparently when she said give me a sword, she meant actually give her a sword. Okay. There you go, and you can have a shield as well. Right. I love the portrait. I love it. Magnificent. There it is. Oh yeah, she's an archer, right, yeah. Anyway, more points in strength. I remember the first time I ever played this game. I think it was as a dwarf warrior, and I quickly learned that basically just dumping everything into strength for almost the entire game, you can, certainly on normal difficulty, you can actually get through the game pretty easily that way, actually, by upgrading nothing but strength constantly. However... Indomitable. Yes. Is that a mode we can just activate and it will stay active and using up part of our stamina bar? It does indeed. Excellent. Alright. And of course, Boris. Right. You have to make the portrait the video thumbnail. Tempting, isn't it? Jolly tempting.
Can you hear the fighting? Hal's men must be everywhere.
Then we should take the fight to them.
Don't be foolish. You would throw your life away? The front gates. That's where your father must be.
We can't just let Hal win.
Listen, darling. We haven't much time. If we can't find your father, you must get out of here alive. Without you and Fergus, the entire Kusen line dies here. If Hal's men are inside, they must already control the castle. We must use the servants' entry in the larder to escape. Do you hear me?
I want Hal dead.
Then survive, and visit vengeance upon him.
Good old floating weapons, indeed. Let's just quickly have these back, and we'll give you that, I guess. Yeah, I see no reason not to. There you go.
Right.
And we must visit the treasury, the armory, or whatever, before we leave. That's important. Although not so important.
The castle has fallen. I'm getting out of here.
As a two-handed character, but still. Don't be a coward. Stand and fight.
Yes, my lord. Here they come.
I didn't expect that to work, honestly.
Only one shall stand.
It's more like it. Oh yeah. Whack.
Lost it.
Is that all you've got? You're getting sloppy. You had it coming.
I forgot about the cool little combat finishes in this game, actually.
Together we shall leave this place.
And the two-handed ones are particularly good a lot of the time. Excellent. Ah!
On it.
Where is he off to? Oh. He's off to attack Mother for some reason.
Time for some fun.
We have won this battle, but we cannot waste more time.
Awesome.
Let's get started.
There's going to be a lot of bits in the early game where we encounter so many chests that you can't open because we don't have a rogue with us. There's like a whole shed load of chests actually in the early game that you cannot access at all unless your main character is a rogue.
Time for some fun.
Or a rouge, according to some people. Although, now you mention it, she maybe can unlock chests. Is Mother a rouge?
I'll go.
Nope.
Right.
You will be avenged, old sage. I swear it.
Lank vellum. Not even remotely useful to us at the moment, but we'll take it anyway. What? What? Okay. Well, moving on then. Ah! You fiends, I see you.
A little frantic? I can see why.
You're dead!
Get out of my way!
This should be easy enough.
How dare you!
It's either you or me. It isn't gonna be me.
Smack. Now the obligatory looting. There we go.
We're getting close to the treasury. The Kuzlan family blade lies inside. Here, darling, take my key. That blade cannot fall into Hao's hands. It should sever his treacherous head.
I thought blank vellums were for, No, you can't make scrolls in this game, can you? No, I think I'm just imagining that, aren't I?
Right.
If that door was locked, how did this lot die? I say, something of a mystery on our hands. Fortunately, we don't have the time to solve it. Aha. Armor. That's actually pretty good. And the Kuzlan guard shield, which is useless because we're not a shield and sword guy. Likewise with the sword we're about to find in here, if I remember. Yep, long sword. Family sword and the shield of Highever, neither of which we will be using. Honestly, if I'd remembered about those at the start, I might have gone with a sword and board character, but never mind. Because it's a bit more appropriate that way, but whatever. I guess Fergus, presumably, is probably the more sword and board type guy, because Fergus was probably meant to inherit those. Now that I think about it.
Show me what you got.
So it does make a sort of sense if you really grasp at straws. But, yes. Still, it's kind of a shame we can't use the family sword. Of course, we're still early enough in the game to feasibly change track to sword and board if we wanted to, and not suffer too much for it, but I'm not gonna. It's been ages since I played a two-hander in this game, so... Squish the mage! Oh, it's an elf mage at that. Oh, we're missing. Oh dear. Right, this is the part where we start hotkeying health poultices. Squishy archers. As long as you can hit them anyway.
Disgusting creature.
Kill them all myself.
Come now. Defend
Go, man the gate. Keep those bastards out as long as you can. Your ladyship, my lord, you're both alive. I was certain Hal's men had gotten through.
They did get through!
They killed Oriana and Oren. I can't believe... Are you injured?
Don't worry about me, ladyship. Thank the Maker you two are unharmed. When I realized what was happening, it was all I could do to shut the gates. But they won't keep Hal's men out long. If you've another way out of the castle, use it quickly.
Alright. No need to get shirty, Tom. Fucking hell. Save the fucking game. Calm down. Jesus. We need to find Father.
When I last saw the Terran, he'd been badly wounded. I urged him not to go, but he was determined to find you. He went towards the kitchen. I believe he thought to find you at the servants' exit in the larder.
Bless you, Sir Gilmore. Make her watch over you.
Make her watch over us all.
There, you happy? You don't have to fucking swear at me now. Rude much.
Guys, blast you! Stay still!
just thinking.
Right.
Is there anywhere we've missed before we exit this area? Yeah, we have to go out by the pantry, so...
Maker, help us! Run! We're going to die!
Big as you two wouldn't have been killed. Oh god, hello.
Here we go! Cut you down! Let's make this quick, shall we?
Anything in here? Nope. Just a big old jack-in-the-box full of dudes kind of a room. Very well. Chantry, yes. Okay, thank you. Keep it up, chaps.
Warden senses tingling.
He just said Warden senses tingling, even though he's not a Grey Warden yet. That's quite funny. I'd never noticed that before.
I'll cut you down.
Perhaps Humphrey is smarter than we all let on. Again, there's nothing in here that I can see we can loot, so we will move on. Ah!
We're under attack! Look at this mess! Love it! It's either you or me, and it is gonna be me!
Smack. Love it. If Humphrey was a D&D character, actually. Oh god, injury kits. I forgot how vital those things are in this game. Ugh. I like to imagine if Humphrey was a D&D character, he would actually have slightly above average wisdom, but just stupidly low intelligence. I feel he has something of a natural intuition, which is how he gets through life. Alright, I think we've done everything, haven't we? So we might as well just head over to the pantry. Or, no, not this way, though. This is not the correct way. Now that's a hammer. I want one of those. You know what I want to do, actually?
You'll never be my better. We must stop.
No. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm not going to use that power anyway, so I'll leave it. Might as well take it out of the quick bar. But yeah, I want to bind health poultices to 1 and 2. on the old quick bar, because that way it's easier for me to heal in combat quickly instead of dying. So I don't have to fumble around and click the icon. I can just hit one. And since I'm using WASD to move around, my fingers are in that area of the keyboard anyway. So, right. Oh, scale gloves. Do I have scale boots as well, by any chance? No. That is a little bit annoying, but oh well. Okay, there be the pantry. So, more dead elves. What's that that's cooking? It looks a lot like a dog. I'm just saying. Do Fereldans eat dogs? Is that a thing? Oh dear, old Nan is indeed dead Nan.
There, you both are. I was
Bryce.
wondering when you would get here.
I've been sitting on this pool of velvet for quite some time.
You're bleeding.
Hal's men found me first. Almost did me in right there.
Obviously it's supposed to be blood, although it just doesn't look anything like it. Why is Hal doing this?
He can't get away with this. The king will...
Bryce, we must get you out of here.
I won't survive the standing, I think.
Big old puddle of jello. That's not true, you'll be fine. Here, take one of these magic health poultices that can heal any injury.
My boy. If only Will could make it so.
Once Hal's men break through the gate, they will find us. We must go.
Someone must reach Burgess. Tell him what has happened.
Plot demands that I die, boy. You don't understand. Needs an injury kit, not just a poultice. Well, it turns out we've got one of those too, so... you can tell him yourself, Father.
I wish I could go. Oh.
Bryce, no. The servant's passage is right here. We can flee together, find you healing magic.
The castle is surrounded. I cannot make it.
I'm afraid the Turn is correct. Hal's men have not yet discovered this exit, but they surround the castle. Getting past will be difficult.
You are Duncan, then? The Grey Warden?
Yes, your ladyship. The Turn and I tried to reach you sooner.
My younger son helped me get here. Make her be praised.
I am not surprised.
We tried to find you, but plot demanded that we didn't arrive just yet. You see, if I arrived sooner, I wouldn't be able to recruit your son, and therefore he wouldn't be able to save the world. But that's not important right now. Can you do something about how?
Not here. There are too many men, and they seem as willing to kill me as they are all of you. Flight is the only option.
Whatever is to be done now, it must be quick. They are coming.
Duncan, you are under no obligation to me, but I beg you, take my wife and son to safety.
I will, your lordship, but I fear I must ask for something in return.
Anything.
What is happening here pales in comparison to the evil now loose in this world. I came to your castle seeking a recruit. The Darkspawn threat demands that I leave with one.
I understand.
But what if something has happened to Fergus?
The king will see justice done. The Grey Wardens, however, must face the Darkspawn above all else.
He is right, Bub.
I will take the Tyrna and your son to Ostagar to tell Fergus and the king what happened. Then, your son joins the Grey Wardens.
So long as justice comes to Hal. I agree.
Then I offer you a place within the Grey Wardens. Fight with us.
And boy, you better accept my offer, otherwise you're going to go and have to play the Darkspawn DLC instead. My duty is to take vengeance on all How.
We will inform the king, and he will punish How. I'm sorry, but a Grey Warden's duties take precedence even over vengeance.
Hal thinks he'll use the chaos to advance himself. Make him wrong, Bub. See that justice is done. Our family always does our duty first. The Darkspawn must be defeated. You must go. For your own sake and for Ferelden's.
Then I suppose I must accept.
We must leave quickly then.
Bryce, are you sure?
Our son will not die of Hal's treachery. He will live and make his mark on the world.
Darling, go with Duncan. You have a better chance to escape without me.
Eleanor.
Hush, Bryce. I'll kill every bastard that comes through that door to buy them time. But I won't abandon you.
I won't let you sacrifice yourself.
My place is with your father. At his side to death and beyond.
I'm so sorry.
Apparently he will let her sacrifice herself.
We had a good life and did all we could. It's up to our children now.
Did I mention he's a bit weak-willed?
Then go, Pup. Warn your brother. Know that we love you both. You do us proud.
They've broken through the gates. We must go now.
Goodbye, darling.
Yes. His father is so high up in the nobility that he literally bleeds velvet.
We will be traveling south through the hinterlands to the ruin of Ostagar, on the edges of the Korkari Wilds. The Tevinter Imperium built Ostagar long ago to prevent the Wilders from invading the northern lowlands. It's fitting we make our stand here, even if we face a different foe within that forest. The King's forces have clashed with the Darkspawn several times, but here is where the bulk of the Horde will show itself. There are only a few Grey Wardens within Ferelden at the moment, but all of us are here. This blight must be stopped, here and now. If it spreads to the north, Ferelden will fall.
Ho there, Duncan.
King Kaelan. I didn't expect a
royal welcome? I was beginning to worry you'd miss all the fun.
Not if I could help it, Your Majesty.
Then I'll have the mighty Duncan at my side in battle after all. Glorious. The other wardens told me you'd found a promising recruit. I take it this is he?
Allow me to introduce you, Your Majesty.
No need, Duncan. You are Bryce's youngest, are you not? I don't think we've ever actually met.
Are you not even aware that my father is dead?
Dead? What do you mean? Duncan, do you know anything about this?
Terran Cousland and his wife are dead, Your Majesty. Arl Howe has shown himself a traitor and overtaken High Ever Castle. Had we not escaped, he would have killed us and told you any story he wished.
I can scarcely believe it. Well, how could he think he could get away with such treachery? As soon as we are done here, I will turn my army north and bring Howe to justice. You have my word.
Just saying, King Kalen, that should probably set off alarm bells in your head, unless you're as half-witted as Humphrey here. Actually, you know what? No, never mind then. Never mind. Thank you, Your Majesty.
No doubt you wish to see your brother. Unfortunately, he and his men are scouting in the wilds.
But he may be in danger.
We are all in danger, my friend. Nothing can be done until your brother returns, and that will not be until the battle is over. I apologize, but there's nothing more I can do. All I can suggest is that you vent your grief against the Darkspawn for the time being.
So long as all Howe pays, I'm happy.
I'm sorry to cut this short, but I should return to my tent. Loghain waits eagerly to bore me with his strategies.
Your uncle sends his greetings and reminds you that Redcliffe forces could be here in less than a week.
Ha! Eamon just wants in on the glory. We've won 3 battles against these monsters, and tomorrow should be no different.
I didn't realize things were going so well.
I'm not even sure this is a true blight. There are plenty of Darkspawn on the field, but alas, we've seen no sign of an archdemon.
Disappointed, Your Majesty?
I'd hoped for a war like in the tales. A king riding with the fabled Grey Wardens against a tainted god. But I suppose this will have to do. I must go before Loghain sends out a search party. Farewell, Grey Wardens.
Them pauldrons, indeed. I see, Ferelden follows the...
What the king said is true.
Games
They won
Workshop
several
lore of
battles against the Darkspawn.
the bigger the pauldrons you are, that you have, the more important you are. Ugh. Perhaps this isn't really a blight after all.
So some believe, but I disagree. Despite the victories so far, the Darkspawn horde grows larger with each passing day. By now, they look to outnumber us. I know there is an archdemon behind this, but I cannot ask the king to act solely on my feeling.
What would you have him do?
Wait for reinforcements. We sent a call out west to the Grey Wardens of Orlais, but it will be many days before they can join us. Our numbers in Ferelden are too few. We must do what we can, and look to Teyrn Loghain to make up the difference. To that end, we should proceed with the joining ritual without delay.
Is he naive, stupid, or he's just, you know, he's literally just not the brightest tool in the box. And unfortunately, due to the Dunning-Kruger effect, doesn't actually realize he's not the brightest tool in the box. So, he's an upper-class twit, effectively. He's not, you know, he's not, like, genuinely brain damaged. He's just, you know, slightly dim. A little bit slow, perhaps, compared to someone like Duncan, for example. He's good at swinging a sword, and that's possibly the limit of his talents. Yeah, we know, Thunder. Duncan will literally explain that in a minute. You don't need to spoil it for everyone. What ritual?
Every recruit must go through a secret ritual we call the Joining in order to become a Grey Warden. The ritual is brief, but some preparation is required. We must begin soon.
I need to find Fergus.
You heard what the king said. He is scouting in the wilds and beyond contact. Be patient. He will return.
Why is this ritual so secret?
The Joining is dangerous. I cannot speak more of it except to say that you will learn all in good time. Until then, you must trust that what is done is necessary.
Yes, spoiling an 8-year-old game. Yeah, there is a surprising number of people watching right now who have not played this, or at least haven't completed it. So, yeah, don't post spoilers in the chat. All right, don't. Be a little considerate for your fellow viewers. I know in this day and age, being considerate for other people's opinions and feelings is highly unfashionable. And you are encouraged at all opportunities to be the biggest possible jerk you can. However, I do humbly ask that you be nice to your fellow viewers who haven't played the game and don't spoil shit for them. Is that alright? Is that too much to ask? I hope not. Right. Am I the only recruit you have?
No, there are 2 other recruits here already. They have been waiting for us to arrive.
What do you need me to do?
Feel free to explore the camp here as you wish. All I ask is that you do not leave it for the time being. There is another Grey Warden in the camp by the name of Alistair. When you're ready, seek him out and tell him it's time to summon the other recruits. Your hound can stay with me while I attend to some business. The Grey Warden tent is on the other side of this bridge. You will find us there should you need to.
Level up! Bye, Boris. Have fun. Dramatic music for the best portrait ever. Isn't it glorious? Right, anyway. Let's get some constitution points since I've been leaving that behind a bit. Coercion, oh god, no. Like I said, it's going to hurt later on. It's going to really hurt my soul that we can't persuade people in dialogue. But unfortunately, that is not the route we are going down with this character. Not unless I pretty much run out of slots, mind you. Honestly, I preferred Dragon Age 2 over Inquisition as well. I'm sorry, but I actually did. Not that I have any real desire to go back and play either of those games. Yeah, I did marginally prefer 2 over Inquisition, yeah. The whole skills bit feels very underdeveloped in this game, I have to admit. The fact that you can max out that combat skills bit within, like, the first hour of the game, literally, always struck me as a little bit odd, but hey, whatever. And if you're playing a warrior character who is not good at persuasion and dialogue, then you quickly run out of things to spend points on. Let's see, Sunder Arms, or Precise Striking, perhaps? Could Would I have enough stamina to combine that with Indomitable? Yes, I can, actually. That's pretty good. Because I don't really use Pommel Strike very much. I like these passive buffs better at the minute, because I do notice that Humphrey tends to miss quite a lot in melee, so... Hello.
Maker watch over you, my lord. Maker watch over you, my lord.
I have to say, all of this looked very impressive back in the day when I first played this game. Yes, it did. Not so much these days.
Maker watch over you, my lord.
Yeah. Aha! Loot! Beef bone and quartz. Ah, it's a gift for the dog. Not that you need to give gifts to the dog. The dog pretty much always unconditionally likes you, so it's rather pointless. Nevertheless, I can give a bone to Boris next time we see him. Well, next time he's in my party anyway, which will actually be quite a while from now, come to think of it.
Maker watch over you, my lord.
Today, 2 units of men arrived every hour, and they expect to double that tomorrow. Still, the Terran worries that may not be enough.
That's an interesting looking gate you have there.
The Tower of Ishal is off limits. The men stationed inside are securing it now.
What is the Tower of Ishal?
I think they used it once to watch for wilders coming out of the forest.
Why is the tower off limits exactly?
By orders of Terran Loghain. The tower is being secured by his men to be used during battle. I'm told they discovered some lower chambers, and they don't know how far down they go, so for now, everyone's to stay out.
Lower chambers?
I didn't see anything like that when I was there, but who knows?
This is a pretty large ruin.
Goes back to the time of the Tevinter Imperium. Dwarven make. That's probably why it's still standing.
I should go.
Make us speed your steps.
Interesting. Right, boys and girls, I believe we've been playing Dragon Age now for just about 2 hours, so I'm afraid
Maker watch over you, my lord.
that is it for this week. Oh yeah, there's the little barricadey bit down there from later on and stuff. And cool. Anyway, yes. Oh god. Yes. Wonderful close up. Majestic, massive nose. He's a bit Nigel Thornberry-esque, isn't he? Smashing. Anyway, that is it for this week as far as Dragon Age is concerned. I will drop our first official perma-save of the playthrough. There it is. It is done. So, what's going to happen now is I'm going to go and take a quick break. I'm going to go to the toilet, going to get something to drink, get a cup of tea, I think, and when I come back, we're going to be continuing our Battlefleet Gothic Armada campaign, where we will be attempting to protect the Gothic sector from foul heretics and Xenos, and I will almost certainly fail horribly if last week's performance was anything to go by. But that's what we'll be doing for the next hour and a half to 2 hours. So if you would like to join us for that, you are more than welcome to do so. However, I am aware that most of you probably will not, so please do take care and don't stampede over everyone else on your way to the exit. And I will be back in approximately 5 minutes while I go and boil a kettle. And for those of you watching on YouTube, thanks very much. Same time next week, 8 PM GMT if you want to catch it live. Otherwise, it will be up during the week on the YouTube channel as a VOD. And I will catch you next time. So, for the rest of you, I will be back shortly.